those clips have gone viral and people misunderstand me.
But I think you
is absolutely not.
What about a woman who was raped?
But do you
understand that when that clip appears on TikTok,
there's no content?
Do you think women?
No. The point I was making.
Why have you said they are?
Because I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I live in the most religious country in the world, and I'm asked in a loaded way.
So would you rephrase what you said?
And 1% of them understand.
So specifically on that point,
she has said it herself.
Right. So she.
And I believe that.
That's not the question.
She is I believe the father.
Don't behave,
I am. The father hands her.
Don't behave like a politician.
The father hands her to the man.
Right, but don't be a politician.
No, the property is the word that other people use when they ask me the question.
But as an equal partner,
people say to me. They asked the question.
Hang on. You can't blame people for asking you questions.
I own the response.
It's like me asking you a question now and you say something and then say...
I believe she belongs to the man.
So
she belongs to the man.
Fundamentally, all right.
Nor all the other points I make the other way around.
Yeah, but that's why I've repeatedly asked you...
Things I say and I'm responsible for them.
Which, by the way, is fine.
Absolutely.
But what you did say at the start of this little exchange...
On certain points...
So that is what you believe. That's my point.
Yes.
I'm trying to work out... Look, I don't know you. We've just met, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to twist anything at all.
Women and children first are on the lifeboats.
But men...
I believe that men...
But a man doesn't own a woman.
It's not... No, it's... Okay.
Unless they literally buy them as a slave.
I didn't say...
He's not selling her.
No, absolutely.
That's what property means.
She becomes a member of your family.
Is it?
Nobody owns
When you use phrases like...
No, I understand very well,
When young, impressionable people...
Which is
that's why people think you're a misogynist.
Completely. I'm not.
Do you have any regret, though, over the way you phrase this stuff?
That was not my anticipation.
No, but it's still what you believed. It's what you believe now. So what's the difference?
You're saying that young people who are impressionable...
If you said to me, look...
I think that when
it doesn't really matter whether you recorded it when you're famous or not famous.
No, I believe if you have...
That's what you said.
You have to have a degree of authority or you can't be responsible.
Yeah, but authority means...
The point I'm making, if you'll please let me finish on this point, and say that that's an irresponsible thing to do and I'm responsible for...
That's not what authority means.
I'm saying that if
I... just a different description of what authority means.
If I have... Then I have to have the authority to tell them not to do unsafe
things. Yeah, but authority means that you have...
I think you're trying to... What you're trying to do...
I'm only trying to get to what you think. Honestly, I am. I come with no agenda here at all.
I understand completely, but the point I'm trying to make...
So you accept that?
I accept that...
Because you used the analogy.
These are actually really important things.
They're
important things, but you interrupt me every 5 seconds, so it's hard for me to actually explain my point. It's the semantics.
No, it's not semantics. Right.
I have a degree of responsibility to protect her. I will do my best to make sure she's never putting herself in unsafe situations.
You wish you hadn't used the word authority.
She would come to me and say, how can I make sure I'm as safe as possible?
But
a person can give
voluntary authority is not authority.
No, but that's the point.
It's not.
Piers.
Andrew, it's not.
Completely. I never said...
One is consensual.
But why are we pretending I do unconsensual things?
Because you literally say...
If I'm not responsible for safety, I don't have authority.
If your position...
I said, well, then I have to make the decisions.
But an 18-year-old boy...
You tried to say I was backtracking, which I'm not doing. I
understand. No, actually, I'm not. I don't want to... Okay. I'm not trying to gotcha you.
My long format copy and understand it fully.
Would you tell an 18-year-old...
Absolutely.
You would say that?
Please make sure, keep me safe. Like
my
woman
said, that Andrew Tate, I can sign up to.
Because you're taking a soundbite from a 2-hour conversation.
But you haven't been taken out of context.
I have the authority to make decisions. So yes, you've ignored all the context.
Do you respect...
That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't...
You know why I'm asking it?
Of course I do. But I can't sit here and say...
For the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this.
Even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
But what did you mean by what you said?
A 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty anti-25-year-old woman.
Can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny.
Beautiful and attractive at a certain age and saying the age...
You're saying 18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, then ageist, perhaps, but misogynistic, absolutely not.
But you just accepted it was misogyny.
Why would I walk up to a random 25-year-old woman?
Because you said it in public on the internet, and it's been listened to.
And I said things back which were going to antagonize
But I think,
which you've done yourself a bunch of times.
I think a lot of...
I understand why it can be insulting.
You wouldn't say it to a woman's face.
Walking around the street, going up to random 25-year-olds.
Well, effectively, you're doing it to...
Whether it's my content or anybody else's.
Yeah, I think you know for a fact.
I think any subject you can find, there's going to be a whole...
I come back to the Joe Rogan thing, Andrew.
And they're going to take a small clip, small sentence from ours, and they're going to try and paint me as a
villain. But I'm not left or right.
I believe that
on that, I just read to you there. That's not why I want you to
There's a whole bunch of context and conversation around that's been missed, and I
don't think I'm missing much context.
In certain parts of the world, they think how they do.
Well, in large parts of the world...
Even though it's very different to the Western world, none of them are offended by the things
I don't think you're a danger to women.
But I say things that offend, and this is the thing that's interesting, Piers. Please let me finish.
Yeah, but you're behaving like a politician. But hang on. You could say I'm interrupting.
You do. However, there's a large contingent of the world...
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
It's not an excuse.
Is that there are parts of the world where this is fine.
My friend.
So my question to you is...
I live in a world where...
You don't think it's fine?
The reason
This isn't that hard, Andrew.
I think you
That doesn't tell me what you think.
I was pointing out that very uncomfortable...
Is that a truth?
That I'm happy about. It's not truth I created.
Hang on.
I was talking about...
It's your belief.
And that's going to decipher how many men and women...
Right, so if you don't actually believe what you said...
There's large conversations going on.
I'm just reading back stuff.
I believe that in the context of the conversation...
25-year-old women aren't old.
And some Muslim guys.
I get it.
Okay, good. So you understand why I said the sentence. But I feel like you're trying to pin pin me down.
If it's not what you believe...
no, I don't think so.
Of course you do.
Completely. And
right? So you have maligned...
And anybody who's...
You lead a righteous life?
I believe in love between men and women.
A real love, you know, where it's...
Family, I believe in children. I believe in...
If you believe in family and children...
So
I'm not a feral psychopath.
Well...
You called me friend earlier.
All of these...
Do you want to get married is my point?
Please for a second.
You don't or you do?
Let's please for a second, because you've interrupted me so many times I've failed to...
Well, actually, I've only interrupted you, just to be clear, when you've actually answered a different question.
Well, then, on all these points you're making...
And you've admitted that.
You're weaponizing them against me.
I'm not weaponizing anything.
Okay, it's fine.
No. You're weaponizing the weaponizing, which doesn't exist.
No problem.
But you said to me, come on, bring it on.
Taken and used against me.
I understand that.
So I'm talking about a man making sure...
Do you want to get married?
I'm talking about protecting...
It's not a hard question.
Of course I believe in family.
No, but
the idea that I don't believe in... The idea that I don't believe in these things is crazy.
I didn't ask you if you believed it.
And the things that are most sacred to me. Why
would
would I do that?
If you said you were married...
That's what we were talking about the whole time.
What do you think?
More than anybody. In fact, I believe in marriage and... No, please. Okay. I believe if he needs a degree of authority to protect her... I have no problem with it. And that's the world we're in now.
Andrew, I'm over here.
Completely. Now let's
hitting them with machetes.
Slap the machete out of her hand. She's attacking me. So you don't understand. This is the exact point.
I do understand.
No, they're interested in clicks. They're interested in engagement.
Of course.
They find
but
the
you
most.
Benefited from
they find the most. I don't hate the social media. I'm saying
the point is, I think you can talk. Look,
1% of people misunderstanding
it doesn't change what
becomes no. It doesn't. It's a larger problem.
I understand.
So with great fame comes great responsibility.
Right.
So
I agree.
Would I now that I'm famous? Do I say that would be a very asinine way to view the world? I can't live in.
Do you stand by all those?
We're talking about.
And by the way, I don't dispute that at all.
I didn't read this.
What is your view?
That is complete garbage.
What is your,
say that I'm the reason this man believes what he believes.
I've seen a quote from you.
I don't understand the issue like they do.
Are you transphobic?
I have no problem.
Do you have a dislike of transgender?
They just put them all together at random. I'm mixed race.
By the way,
I don't know where they get these. They just get these buzzwords and put them in a sentence.
By the way, I completely agree.
What I do discuss is that.
So you support transgender people,
and those are the people who are my fans.
I'm saying. But the problem is, okay, I'm going to interrupt you just to say this. No.
Perhaps the YouTube algorithm's trying to feed them.
I think there are lots of.
That woman wanting to walk alone.
I don't think I have authority.
If she decides, you're not going to stop her.
I have no power to stop her.
Completely.
But you think you do.
No, I don't think I have power to stop her.
You clearly do.
No, that's not sensible.
So if you have the power to make...
no, because
that's where we differ.
I think through what I'm saying so carefully.
Yeah, but Andrew, what you've literally...
I'm saying that...
So she wants to go on her own.
If we're going to sit there and decide if we're going to take this...
You asked me to others...
So let me finish, Piers. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to veto this one. I'm going to call veto.
But do you believe in...
Because it's dangerous. She said, I don't want to listen to you, Andrew.
It doesn't give you authority.
Then what can I do? So, well, then I...
Then you don't have authority.
No problem. But I think we actually... But I'm going to fight this as hard as I can.
Right, and by the way, on that, I agree.
Okay, so then we agree. No, we do.
Here's where we don't agree.
Piers, no, I don't.
And that to me is a damaging view.
And let's work together to try and fight against it.
There isn't
wrote a book which
What's
actually...
What's going to do with Johan Hari?
Perhaps they won't feel depressed anymore. That's not a disease. Where I feel happy and
content
within myself. No, I don't lose you.
You won't, because Piers, somebody with your following says
thousands of people, and you're the only person who has ever helped me. Thousands of people have emailed me that exact email.
If you think you are...
I don't think so.
And I think your view of that is...
I've already said...
I didn't... Oh, hang on.
I know
You're not a doctor, are you?
It's not.
If you said to me...
And now he felt better. Now, I'm not saying it's the case for everybody.
No.
I'm just saying...
Here's my question, though. Have you seen the guy's medical record?
I just told you the story.
So you're just taking his word for it?
A bunch of medication in specific doses.
You're denying...
I'm denying the idea that...
And on the back of it, you go...
I disagree with that.
Do you think...
It's far more dangerous. Okay, well then, if they have clinical depression...
Why do you misquote me?
No, because you're saying...
You hate being misquoted.
No, clinical depression,
I never said there's nothing to do about it.
Then I would argue the point that if somebody...
It's the complete opposite of what you just said I said.
For their life going forward.
How positive is it?
So
you think Sandy Hook...
And I say nice things about him.
But you said you support...
I don't know.
You know what it was.
And it's actually no. Let's stop for a second. Please don't interrupt me. First, you interrupt people a lot, which is good. It's a good skill,
actually,
and then there you go. Prove me right. You try and set these traps like now. So you're saying
what's the trap you think I'm setting?
A man has.
I literally didn't say that.
You support Alex Jones.
Why would you misquote me?
I don't know.
What do you think of Alex Jones?
I think he said.
What do you think of him?
People who openly hate me.
Is it wrong?
I do a podcast circuit. So and I don't know everything he's ever said.
When somebody like
and I don't know what. So I don't know what you're trying to get me here because I did a podcast.
If you let me get a word in edgeways, I'll tell you.
It's a lame trick. If somebody shows me respect, I show them respect back.
So if Adolf Hitler showed you respect...
That's a stupid question, Piers.
It's not. It's a logical extension of your argument.
I'd show respect back. I don't know. What are you trying to say? That I sanction the Holocaust?
You literally just said if somebody
shows me respect and is courteous to me, I'm courteous back. Yes.
How can you respect somebody?
I don't understand any of it.
Well,
I don't know anything about it. You've told me your version of events.
When did you go on the podcast?
4 years. I did one relatively recently.
So 4 times...
Promoting and helping him because...
Well, it's his podcast.
Podcasts have been on feminist podcasts. I do a podcast circuit.
You're not a feminist?
I don't know.
What do you think a feminist is?
Piers, stay on the subject.
You mentioned feminism.
Completely, but you're trying to get away from the point. And I'm saying I do 5 podcasts a week. I do 5 podcasts a week. So I don't know why you're trying to come at me with one of his views and pretend that's something to do with me.
It's a pretty big
If Vladimir Putin had a podcast, I'd go on it. If I think that...
I'm saying there are lots of...
That's your opinion. But
No, it's my view. What's
okay,
your
that's
view?
your view. Well,
your view is you would.
Important that we don't have echo chambers and we have varying.
Correct.
And that we have anybody's podcast and
I don't think you
discuss
understand.
any point.
I don't think you understand.
You're just saying what you're just
What do
saying.
you think censorship means?
The point I'm trying to make here.
Hang on.
My prerogative is I'll
What does
just
it do with censorship?
people who are hard liberal
By the way,
left wing.
I don't care if
That's nothing to do with me.
I was.
That's nothing to do with me. On any level.
Let me respond.
On any level. It's not about pretending
Have you been on his podcast?
No, it's absolutely childish. Because I've done a bunch of podcasts with people.
You would do a podcast.
I've done a bunch of podcasts. You're trying to lump me in with that. That's cheap. That's cheap.
You are.
And I'm just making it clear to
It's
the
not a cheap
audience.
trick.
It's a cheap trick.
Where's your moral line?
Cheap trick you're trying here. So I
When
don't know
people
where it's gonna
invent,
go. He didn't use me for
why does he have you on the
promotion.
podcast?
Because we disagreed and discussed points like we're doing with you right now.
Did you call him out on that?
Are you using me? We didn't discuss that.
I'm not using. I'm giving you a platform most people aren't giving you right now.
We don't agree on a whole bunch of issues.
It's fine.
And here we are.
I think we've had a robust exchange.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
I'm sure.
I'm here on your TV show. Is kind of hard for me to even truly understand.
What do you think it means? What is feminism?
I think that there's
Do you
actually.
think women should go to work?
I don't know where all of that comes from.
Well, that's why I'm glad we've had a chance to discuss.
I'm the kind of person who works hard enough that
Should
she wouldn't
young
have
men-
to. Laid it out and it offended you, I understand.
I didn't say it offended
Okay,
me.
offensive, and some people are offended.
Well, some people definitely were offended.
Absolutely. That's fine.
And honestly,
people than me, and
I
they're-
don't disagree
and they
with
exist
that.
and are pretending to be absolutely and utterly devastated by them for some reason.
All right.
Where these things are
do you
created.
think the tech companies
people and to
right? And I think that's I
haven't.
thought it was an interesting conclusion.
We just talked about music videos and dancing on the devil and,
Listen,
and all this stuff. All this stuff is dangerous.
By the way,
and I'm not going to sit here.
Have
and
you
say,
changed though?
It's not about changing.
Well, it is. I don't want to interrupt you. It was a very serious case.